getting pretty lucky with people not playing e4, or I guess it's not necessarily lucky, because I do need to learn the pirc, although I think the pirc is utterly terrible. But I've been getting a lot of nice Benoni games, which I'm happy with. Here we're going to have to actually play this nonsense. I do wonder about lines involving pushing the c-pawn in this position, but I don't think that's best plan here, immediately at least. I have to wonder whether or not I'm fine with them trading immediately, how exactly I want to do this. I assume the engine wouldn't be too bothered with this. I could also save it, the bishop, by doing this, but I don't think that's the right way to play the game. I actually had a similar setup earlier today, which I guess is because I played the pirc earlier today. Takes, but I mean they win a pawn. Is this best? I have nowhere to move the bishop to. It's probably just best to play this and push the c-pawn. They play this immediately. I think the computer would give it an inaccuracy, although this is probably the move I'm most concerned about. Takes here. Takes would be fine with me. The castle. Well, then I guess I can probably just take it or something. But yeah, I feel like this kind of setup, if they were to castle king set it, like a similar setup, I guess not this. Oh, am I supposed to be able to move this knight back there? That might actually be the case. Takes. It's kind of gross. I can just go back immediately probably, but I'm not a fan, but it's not the end of the world. I don't know, the queen's hanging in a lot of lines now. I don't really want to play knight here though. At least not too quickly. I could probably push and then play this. And I'm not like throwing the game that way, it's probably fine. But yeah, I'm not really trying to play something like this and it would be fine. Apparently I've played this person before, or at least I think that's what this suggests. So I think taking it's silly. Pushing like that's probably also silly. Pushing here, but I don't think works. I don't want to hang the pawn. Maybe I should just start with this, as much as I find it questionable, because I am just looking to, take there. Yeah, this seems correct to me. As much as I wanted to maybe avoid it. I think my opponent's done something wrong. Maybe I've done something wrong in return, maybe not. I feel like usually should be getting better positions than this. but I don't really know. After this, though, I don't really see what they're gonna do. They click this, the queens come off, and I know I just move the bishop, and I think it's fine. And if they take back like this, I can move the knight here, and that should be pretty strong. And I just don't see how they do anything in time. I guess I gotta play like c6, or I mean I'd rather just play c5, but with the knight here, it's maybe you end up with that there, and it's like fine. I don't know, because this knight is fairly trapped, but it being a bit slow isn't too big of a deal when you don't really have anything that's scary. Maybe they could try no, but the knight covers that square, so they can't try that. I think they should just cut their losses and play the endgame. They should have I think a slightly better position, but you know, they'll have some weaknesses that I can go after, but I'm gonna have issue getting my pieces out, and they'll be able to fully develop, and I'll be like slightly behind, but the queens will be off, or something of that nature, I think, in the best line for them, which I do think is castles, takes, and trade. That is doing nothing in my mind. I'm just gonna continue with the plan. Yeah, I really don't know what a3 was trying to do. Like, I could see them pushing a4, thinking a5 would be scary, because if I don't take and they don't consider d takes e in that line, then a4, a5 is kind of scary, but I can just take the e pawn with my d pawn, and then I have this move to follow up. So maybe that was a mouse up, I don't really know. Really weird move to me, really weird. And they're gonna struggle with the castle. I think, because this is kind of scary. I would like to really force them to castle, but I don't really see how that's working. This doesn't work, because this knight move, I can maybe just pin it first, or I can also maybe try something like this, but it's probably not too good. If I go here, they can't, like, immediately attack me, but after, like, this, then I'm kind of thinking, like, why did I play this? After this, I'm thinking about how maybe, like, this move makes it so it's kind of like, why did I play this? I can't play this. This is a move, although it seems pretty slow. Try to do this, but I don't think that's good. This isn't really coming, I don't have to be afraid of that. So I do want to get the bishop out. I mean, this is... I could also consider maybe, like, the threat of c4. which actually I didn't consider before. And there is this one line, actually, that I looked at in another position, in which you play b5, and I actually want to give some attention to that. Because it stops c4. Yeah, I did see this in another line, and while it was a bit different, the knight was able to go here. This is kind of something to consider. Now I have to babysit it, but they can't really go after my queen all too easily. It is true that this lets my bishop maybe go to a6, although it's kind of like but I do kind of like that, and I mean I can defend it if ideas of this. Before stopping c4 does seem like a decent idea to me. I can also push that. Yeah, I don't like how cramped this can get. I like controlling squares. So because of that, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to play b5. Stopping c4. No, I don't know if they would try to play c4, but I think they're starting to lean more towards kingside castling. And objectively, I think kingside castling is better here than going for the queenside castling. I think they'll just play like bishop e2. Oh, that'd be the first move I would consider. Maybe bishop to what is it called? d3 would be decent as well, I think. Something about e2 feels better, but I also don't really know what it's doing e2. But on e3 or d3, it's not really doing anything either. So yeah. Yeah, this should get castled. Okay, they play this one. Fair enough. They're just looking to castle. So I can start with like a6, for example. Start with c6, although that cuts out the diagonal. I might want to push c4 with the help of the rook. Yeah, I don't really know. Oh, they'd just be hanging though. I could maybe start with this now. They'd castle, and I mean the rook would see it. Then they'd double pretty quickly. I don't know. Because I really feel like I should be pushing this pawn here, but I just... It doesn't have as high of highs, so maybe with proper play, like, you know, not playing this is better, but I feel like maybe with the way I am thinking about the position, this is best. It's hard to say. I'm gonna have to defend this at some point. And I don't despise a6, so I'm gonna start with it. I'm not too sure about that one, though. So maybe here, and then moving the rook here. Ooh, no, you can't do that. That's not even legal. That's actually a crime, believe it or not. That's a criminal offense. What is that? Okay. Well, now we have a game, eh? So this is scary for them. Are you gonna move the knight here? Well, what if I push? That seems a little like, uh-oh. Don't want me to push here. Go back, takes. Like, takes, for example, would be very scary. I think I could defend this, lock it down. And without the knight, there are no threats of sacking, really. Yeah, I don't know about that one. If they go back, that just seems slow. Although that would actually be detrimental. I can't allow that to happen, but... Like, I might... Well, no, this wouldn't work, because the queen defending it, but... Like, if they go back, maybe I just drop back to, like, here. I don't know. This just seems a bit, like, slow, and I'm fine with that. I'm gonna go here. I was gonna just take it, slide my king over. Okay, this is like, excuse me on multiple regards. Firstly, this seems like really scary. I mean, I'm kind of just threatening to win the game in this case. Also, I can take you. Really? We think this works? I don't think this works. I mean, do you move the queen maybe and this? Can also take this first. Or I could take it now. Opens up this file, which is probably fine. I don't think anything's happening here. I mean, I can win the pawn too. Although, I think their argument is, that's so scary. I mean, they just would have so much coming at me, and maybe it'd be fine, but I don't quite like it. This also makes it so they can't move the knight because the rook's here. Yeah, I think I like this the most. Check takes is the most natural way to play. If I do get an endgame, this is kind of just winning, but yeah, maybe I won't. This would then be another check that maybe gets my queen in the game, maybe not. I might do pushing this. It's hard to say, but my pieces kind of remain around. I mean, this is the most natural continuation. I don't think I'm scared of anything. Nothing's hanging. They say knight on f8, never mate, but what about knight on e8? Oh, I can't immediately go here because of this pawn, which is worth considering. So they play this. So they might try to sack the rook, but it looks like it should be fine. You could also not sack the rook. I mean, nobody's forcing me to. Or not have them sack the rook, I guess would be a better way of saying it. I could even, like, start like this, can't I? But that means that they can maybe work around the bishop by playing, like, I don't know, this. Don't really know. The knight's takeable. I mean, they're really just gonna try to go for it because, you know, they're losing at this point. Oh, which is very scary. It's not the type of position that I want. I want a position where, you know, everything's just very clean. You know, I can take the knights and then, you know, go for an idea like this, and if here, you know, I'm taking this pawn, and it's pretty good for me. Everything's under control. I could even, like, start with this, of course. It is worth noting, though, that this is a difficult checkmate to deal with. But it shouldn't immediately be doable in any regard, so I could really just start with this c4 move. But what if they just, like, don't take? What if they just let it sit there? Because me taking seems to be not useless for them, at least. I'd have to, you know, play a move like this. It all seems very slow. And one of my biggest fears is something like that. Here, just seems very scary. You know, maybe moves like this exist. Oh, I don't know. I mean, this at least slows it down. You know, they have to like start with something like this, maybe. I don't know. I think it's very clear that I'm winning if I play properly, but it's not clear how to play properly. And this gives me at least a draw, I would think. Well, I guess they have this square. Uh-huh. How are they going after the bishop here? You know, after they move the knight, but if they move the knight, you know, I have threats of this. I almost do want to just start, but ooh, I did not mean to, you know, just play that though. Oh, I can also just take it like this. What am I doing? Yeah, I don't think I want them sacking the rook, so I think we will play this, or we can take this too, but I think I'll start with c4. Yeah. Or I could also just take the knight, but... Well, no, I can't take the knight because of that. Here... Well, the queen's not really in a useful position. They've kind of just wasted a tempo, actually. I really don't know what the goal there was. I'm just going to take it and take like this, maybe. This is a threat, too. Yeah, I don't know what that does. That seems like a bad move. Presumably just attack this. This is not threatened. Not that that does anything, I think, but I don't know, it's an idea. I mean, it gives me a way to get my queen back and have my queen defend, which I really do want. Whoa, what? Excuse me? That's just a blunder. I mean, it's a blunder in multiple ways. There's multiple ways in which that's nonsense, but this is the easiest. I mean, I could pre-move it, right? I could. They're in check, they gotta move. Okay. So let's see how my decision making was in the middle. They kind of just, everything collapsed for them in the end. So forced myself to play the pirc. Oh my god. Wait, where does this .9 come from? Okay, I don't think that .9 was a real eval. Once a6, which is worth noting. I don't know, though, what a6 would really count as, because I really don't want to play the modern. Because the goal is to try positions other than the modern, so that when I'm playing the modern, I'm more flexible. Although, you know, ideas like a6 do also exist in the pirc. I mean, c6 is an idea to start pushing the b pawn. It's certainly not, and it's knight's here, but I mean, I don't know. Really, what's what and what has different plans. I hate the move c6. I will never play that thing. I don't know why, or maybe I should. Maybe I should force myself to play it to, you know, learn more. But c6 seems like a completely nonsensical move, and I don't understand why you'd ever play that so soon in the game in the pirc. It's just, you're just admitting that you have a worse position, and I mean, you're trying to play these other moves like c5 or e5 and this and that. I mean, c6 is often very good with the e5, but that's besides the point. It's just such a ridiculous move. Because c5 is just such a great move to get eventually. I don't know. I don't believe in the move c6. But maybe that's because I'm bad, and one day when I'm better, I'll understand. Castle. They play this. Once c5 immediately. I thought c5 wasn't possible. I did think about it though. I think it did cross my mind, because there are lines where it works in positions like this, and you know, but I didn't really see it, and I'm happy to get to see it. So they play takes, and then often it's this move, but I don't think this works here. I think this is hanging a pawn. Apparently this is hanging a pawn, but it's just nice positionally because they haven't developed anything, I think. I think that'd be the reasoning. But I really despise this because I'm down a pawn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I think it just... yeah, I don't know. I think as it progresses, it realizes just how bad it is. So here once d takes. Really? And if this thing takes... oh, the pawn's hanging. I had so much faith in my opponent that I didn't calculate to see that the pawn was hanging. And I was like, oh, well, it can't really be... well, no, that's after that, so yeah. I just didn't see that they just hung a pawn, which is ridiculous. Here we want c5 again. I didn't like c5 because I thought after takes, and you can't take with a knight even. Well, here they can just take though, right? And they're just super winning. So after this, you're supposed to play something else. Oh, d takes e. Okay. That seems really scary, but you do have this defending this. You can move it out and now. Okay, yeah, that looks really promising actually. It doesn't look very scary. It looks very nice. But I don't see all that. And I play knight b6, which is the second best move according to the engine. So I'll take that. When not seeing all this, I saw the best idea. But I have been missing opportunities to equalize. Okay, they play this, which I thought was ridiculous. It doesn't do anything, and I'm pretty sure it literally doesn't do anything. I don't know what that does. Like, I think that's a nonsensical move. And I can't even explain why it was played unless it was a mouse flip trying to play a4. Not that I think a4 is a good move. I think a4 is quite a terrible move, although apparently it gives it 0.8, but I was thinking I could just take like this. Here once d takes, f takes slightly more, but yeah, I thought this was like fine. So I think it was a mouse flip. I think they were trying to play a4, because I can at least imagine why somebody would play that. I have no clue why a3 is played. Like, were they scared about the queen in the future targeting the pawn? Like, I don't know. Really, really weird stuff. Here I move the knight. Apparently this isn't a good move. I don't know why. Here we want bishop e2. They take. Which is considered... I still don't understand. I think this is quite a pleasant position. I play b4, which... okay, it's not the best move. But that's what pattern recognition brought me to. Here they want a4, and I can see why maybe after a4. That is a bit annoying, although I think I'd play c6, which hampers my options in the future they don't take. Here even a takes those, given a good evaluation. And I look at this and I think I'm fine, but maybe there are some very specific reasons why I'm not. And this move's an interesting one. Why are we playing a4, a5? I don't get that one, but yeah. I mean, in this position, I'm not sure entirely what I would play. Consider a move like this, or consider a move like this. Queen's gonna drop back eventually. I mean, even like this, just jump starting stuff seems fine to me. Oops. Queen d8's even. Yeah, this doesn't work. Okay, so queen d8. It's not great, but my knight's coming in. And it feels like pieces can do stuff. I mean, if I can get the bishop and the knight out, both, it seems fine. Let's maybe look at what the engine shows. I don't know why I'd play rook b8. f6 makes some sense to me. I would consider this move. Although I'm unsure of whether or not it works. But a5 hangs a pawn. I'd maybe move the knight as much as I don't want to. Runs into this. I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna be fine though. Like long term. I think they have to play very accurately to punish me, which is kind of always a thing in this opening, but you know, if I'm in an okay position, I don't want to be in a bad position, so I'm not necessarily happy with the consequences of this, but it does look like something where I'm not gonna just get steamrolled at my level. Here it shows moves other than b3 too, but d3, I don't know. I'm fine with this. I play b4, stopping c4. Bishop g4 was shown, which I think is a move I was very much so considering, which is worth mentioning. Okay. They played this, which I thought was bad. Engine doesn't think it's so bad. I mean, perhaps the engine thinks everything is kind of crushing, and maybe they should be attacking here more than I thought they would. I don't know. I thought they should. I just really thought they should be castling kingside. Which actually, they should be looking at. Or no? This line has castling kingside when I prevent it like this. Which I should have considered h5. Like, not even like considering that move for a second was really bad of me. I'm not saying like necessarily that I should have played it, but not considering it is ridiculous. I want c5, which feels maybe like a pawn sack to me. I don't know. But play bishop g4, I think, which is fine. I mean, this they just take, right? And I mean, things are slightly opening up, but with the bishop here, it just seems like they're just kind of up a pawn. Not a very good pawn, but a pawn. You know, maybe they push this castle, or maybe castling queenside works in some line. I don't know. They play this though, which is considered like just as good, pretty much, by the engine. And really, they can play this? That's insane to me. But I guess the engine thinks everything's just such a great attack. Here wants c3, which I didn't consider. c3, interestingly, would make the bishop less strong on the square, which might matter for like the rook and stuff. So I wouldn't really mind that too much. But yeah, that and queen moves. And the engine really dislikes this one. Whereas maybe a move like it shows queen c3 here, which applies a bit of pressure here, maybe leaves something there. I don't really understand this move, but it would guard this though, so I wouldn't be winning that pawn. c3, b4, which also guards the pawn, e1, which I have no clue what that does. But I guess it brings the queen closer to lining up with the rook here, maybe? I want to see how these lines go. Oh wait, now it's showing point 4. Oh, so maybe I wasn't looking at it. Okay, yeah, queen e1's where it starts to drop off. It wants it defending the pawn. It wants the pawn to stay defended. Okay. So they do this, and now... Oh? I have to assume this is for like a tactical reason, because that's kind of weird for me. It wants me to just play h5, preventing... I should have considered... Yeah, not considering h5 there is terrible. h5 is a great move, and it's very solid, and just not considering h5 is pathetic there. Really, really pathetic. So I guess not playing h5 now, they have a very strong attack. And I've allowed them to play h5, so... Yeah, I should... That turn I do think I should have played h5 objectively. f5 is a crazy move, but reasonable. Like, it's something that, like, I would believe, and I would consider calculating if I had a very, very long amount of time. Perhaps more than a classical game, but, yeah, it is a little crazy. Queen takes a3, and I play c5. So I think my idea is reasonable. Now here I can just take f3. Although the engine thinking more maybe is starting to change his mind. But, okay, it still wants me to take f3. f5 is also okay. Oh. And at this point I think I'm winning, I think. So, it's a bit of a rude awakening to see this. I guess this move is not one I considered. And nothing else is winning, although this move's also strong, which... Really? I don't like that. For whites, it just seems like everything's so open, and their attack is fizzled out. Then everything else is better for me. But I think that might be partially a consequence of the bishop hanging rather than... Oh, well. It's only a few moves for tactical reasons. Let's say the game is more so I think that the position's fine, and that the bishop's hanging wide. There's so much of this, and the position being fine to me is crazy, so... I'm shocked white's okay here. They play this, which is ridiculous. And I would beat Magnus Carlsen here from here, so yeah. So what are my takeaways? Let's see if I can just remember them. Takeaways calculating chess is hard, I guess. I don't know. C5 is something that but I would never play c5 in some of these positions. One of them was kind of miscalculation, but the other is it just looks so ugly, even like looking at them. So, yeah. I missed an opportunity to take it, so I should have considered taking it. My brain not doing that is a pretty bad thing. Brain needs to do that. This is also kind of a ridiculous move. Maybe because it runs into this? I don't know. I'm surprised this is so bad, but maybe it's fine. Kinda. Actually, if you let the computer think longer, because I don't think this shows up and this shows up, but it actually considers this to be better than this. Yeah, those kind of continue some kind of plan. This plan I'm more familiar with than with this plan. I do need to get knight c6 down more. c5 works for reasons no, c5 doesn't work. I don't believe it. I could have considered e5, but I thought shutting down the center here with the setup they have probably isn't the best idea. It's gonna be hard to, you know, push c5 and all this, or maybe it wouldn't be so hard, but Okay, but yeah, that's not that good. It wants g2. If they take, it's kind of weakening, so yeah. So this was poor, but overall I think calculation-wise, it wasn't the worst thing ever. Or rather, terms of my play, given the calculation hat, this was the worst thing ever. But the calculation was possibly a bit of an issue. Yeah, I'm surprised like this is like acceptable. 'Cause I don't know. Whoa, I can't even play that move immediately. I guess it wants me to win the pawn, or no. You know, actually, I should look at what happens when I take the pawn, because I would expect taking the pawn to be winning for the engine, although very dubious for me. I should look at how this game gets converted by the engine. I would be tempted to take with that pawn, I would say. I mean, I would consider maybe something like this, but then you can't go down immediately, which I think is part of why. So actually, let's look at a line where maybe you have the queen coming in. Although, it only considers it +1. But I mean, we're up a pawn, right? Yeah, we're actually up 2 pawns. After the... No, just, I guess I won a pawn before, too. I mean, yeah, I took this, and then there's this, which is the pawn I accounted for. I didn't account for this. No, but now black's winning. It seems that beforehand the computer was just being bad and overestimating the position. Yeah, I think maybe especially with this weaker laptop, but maybe even in general, I need to put extra less like weight on the engine, because it seems that it really doesn't have a clue what's going on. Oh, okay. No, okay, ends in draw, but yeah, the idea that +1, although +1 should become a draw, maybe no? Probably not. I think +1's usually a winning position in the long term. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what kind of advantage should be enough. Go back here. So now it thinks this is like a draw. Oops, but whatever. The point's there that maybe the engine was a bit wrong, but... Or maybe it wasn't, and +1 should just in many cases fizzle out so late in the game, but I wouldn't expect that. I don't know. Okay, that's it.